Oh, and I just literally sold my 2019 because I had high hopes that my 2023 was going to be in on time, and I am starting to have a little bit of instant regret of selling that sled. So let's go into the recall. What is going on with this whole Polaris stop sale, stop ride recall, and what sleds does it affect? Now, before we dive into this whole recall thing, if you guys are interested in anything SnowCheck related, whether it be recall, stop sales, me taking delivery of mine, me riding mine, whatever it may be Polaris SnowCheck related, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Now, let's get into the email that Polaris sent me. So here we are, Polaris Snowmobiles, important safety recall notice. Not a shocker. So, it says, Polaris Industries is issuing a stop ride notice to the owners of model year 2021 to 2023 Matryx. So that is literally covering every Matryx sled ever made, including SnowCheck sleds that they've already produced and ones that they are in the process of producing. 2015 to 2022 Axys and select model year 2013 to 2014 Trail Performance, aka ProRide Snowmobiles. So this covers every single Axys sled and certain ProRide sleds. You guys, like, do you realize how big of a recall this is? Like, every single sled sold basically from 2013 up till 2023. So literally 10 years is under this recall. And it's not just like a stop sale, it's a stop ride, meaning they don't want you even riding this sled even with the recall out. Polaris says, our records indicate that you are the owner of a Polaris snowmobile with the VIN yada 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 affected by the safety recall. Well, I think a lot of us are. By a lot, I mean 230,000 of us. We have determined that with degraded fuel, and especially after extended storage, some snowmobiles may pose a risk of fire due to electrostatic discharge inside the fuel tank. Under specific conditions, vapors may be ignited inside the fuel tank, posing a potential injury hazard to consumers. Polaris has voluntarily reported this matter to the Consumer Product Safety Commission. This is kind of a big deal. So pretty much what they're telling you is if you store your sled, obviously you would know that fuel over time does degrade and go bad. And after extended storage, which probably means summer, because, you know, you put your sled away around, I don't know, April-ish, usually most people do, and you pull it out in November, and it's telling us that pretty much if you do that, there is a risk that your fuel tank will combust and your Polaris snowmobile will go down in flames. Now, I thought this was like only an Arctic Cat thing. Like, you really don't see too many Polarises on fire. I kind of didn't expect this out of Polaris Arctic Cat, most definitely. Polaris says that they are currently evaluating a repair procedure for affected snowmobiles until a remedy is approved by the Consumer Product Safety Commission. We urge you not to ride the vehicle, and that is in bold letters, ladies and gentlemen. They said we urge you not to ride the vehicle. Once a repair procedure has been validated and approved by the Consumer Product Safety Commission, Polaris will notify dealers and contact you by mail and email. This work will be performed by your dealer at no cost to you. If a rider needs to start their snowmobile, they must make sure the fuel tank is full, and if not, then they need to add a fresh gasoline to the fuel tank. Holy cow, guys, this is a massive recall. This is like nothing we've ever seen before from Polaris, especially that it affects almost 250,000 snowmobiles over a 10-year span. That is like absolutely crazy. And here's where we're going to come into issues here with the 2023 SnowChecks, at least I think. So this recall states all sleds. So this is like my thought process behind how this is literally going to affect my SnowCheck once again for the second year in a row. Like we already said, there is almost 250,000 sleds affected over a 10-year span. So all those sleds from 2013 to 2023 are recalled, even the ones that they haven't even produced yet. So say, let's just like make this easy. Let's say their solution to this is replacing the fuel tank on every one of those sleds. That is 230,000 fuel tanks they have to come up with. And mind you guys, they are still struggling to find parts to build the SnowCheck sleds that they already allocated to people. I just don't know how this is going to play out. This is going to have a massive effect on 2023 Polaris SnowChecks for sure. I just don't see how it couldn't, because not only do you have to produce these 2023s with this revised fuel tank, let's just say they're doing, but you also have to go back and fix 230,000 sleds that you messed up over the last 10 years. And it's such a shame, man. Like, Polaris was on such a good track this year to actually deliver their sleds on time. The 650s were coming in, 850s were coming in. I'm seeing Chaoses come in, I'm seeing Switchback Assaults, VR1s, the whole 9 yards. Pretty much Polaris is on their game this year, because after what happened last year, they can't afford to not be on their game once again. And of course, a curveball comes into play. They recall so many sleds, and now I don't know if they're going to be able to recover from this. And this is going to have a lot of people in the same boat as me pretty freaking worried, because not 2 weeks ago, I sold my 2019 Pro RMK 850 because one, I snow checked the 23 9R and I really want that sled, and two, I figured might as well take the money for my sled while I can and get rid of it and have that cash on hand for when the snow check comes in, because, you know, obviously it looked like Polaris was going to be on their game this year. And now I'm sitting here sledless, and Polaris just issued a massive recall that might detrimentally affect my 2023 riding season, and I don't know what to do. Now, I want to stick it out and wait for that 9R with hopes that it's going to be here by December, because I need it early December, but part of me wants to just go out and buy a holdover sled, holdover 850 Chaos, and call it a day while I can still get my hands on one, because I don't know that I'm going to be able to get my hands on one come November, December if I wait it out and find out that this recall caused my sled to get pushed back into January, February, March, April, who knows when. And I know I'm not the only one in this boat, because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of guys that didn't take their snow checks last year because they came too late, or they sold their current sled with high hopes that Polaris was actually going to deliver on time this year. Now, I'm not saying they're not gonna, but if you just kind of look at the bigger picture and put all the pieces together, it's not looking good for Polaris. Now, Polaris is not the only snowmobile company right now that is in a iffy situation on whether or not their snow checks are going to be out on time. If you guys remember, Skidoo put out a timeline for their snow checks, and it looked like everything was going to be in around December, if not really, really early January. But they're having some issues of their own, and they even announced that they are pushing stuff back into January and potentially February. I know it's not just Polaris, but this was absolutely uncalled for, and now I'm 100% regretting getting rid of my 19 Pro, because I might not have a sled to ride this season. Now, Polaris kind of put us all in a situation where we don't know what to do. Now, like, my dad's sled's recalled, my mom's sled's recalled, so everyone in my family that has a sled, their sled is under this recall. And yeah, I have a friend, or my dad's friend, that has like 8 or 9 Polaris snowmobiles that are all Axys or Matryx Chassis. Every single one of those is under a recall. Now, what do you do if they're telling you not to ride this sled and they don't have a solution, or they don't have the parts on hand to fix it, because there's a mass amount of parts that need to fix it? What do these people with these sleds do? What do these 230,000 people with these sleds do if they can't ride their sled this season because A, Polaris doesn't have the parts to fix it, or B, Polaris hasn't come up with a fix to fix it? Now, this is just like, I don't know, this is absolutely crazy, 100% uncalled for, and it's pretty much shaking the snowmobile world right now, the snowmobile community. Yeah, I'm stuck in a situation right now where I really don't know what to do. I've already got my eye on a few 2022 holdover Chaoses just in case I decide to pull the trigger on that, because I have a feeling that this 9R might not be here in time. And it's not like last season where it didn't come in time, so it didn't really matter because I still had a sled. We're in a situation here where if this doesn't come in time, I actually don't have a sled, and I'm gonna have to scramble to find something, and that is gonna be an absolute disaster. I could already tell right now. In the comment section below, I want you guys to voice your opinions. What do you think of this whole recall stop ride situation with Polaris? Do you think snow checks are gonna be on time? If you guys are interested in anything snow check related, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. With this recent recall notice, I am sure we're gonna have much more than just this to talk about. So if you want to stay up to date on the latest news on snow check, subscribe to the channel. And with all that being said, I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.
1, 2, 3, let's go. Put it down the show. They don't never fucking know.